Now to the coronavirus here in the U.S. and the dire new warning tonight as we now head into fall and winter. Dr. Anthony Fauci warning that the death toll could rise to between 300,000 and 400,000 Americans.
Sorry.
Feel too good, sorry.
You hear so many stories about having it, and I was just thinking this is way worse than I imagined it.
Cases are increasing in 32 states and Puerto Rico, and deaths are rising in 12 states.
18 states right now, that's the red and the orange. You see a lot of them out here in Middle America, reporting more cases today than a week ago.
A 5-year-old boy in New York City has died from a rare inflammatory syndrome that's likely linked to COVID.
3 children hospitalized with what they're calling multi-system inflammatory syndrome. Tragically, at least 1 child has died.
COVID-19, an all too familiar word that we've been acquainted with for the past maybe half a year. You know, quarantine, everything that we've been going through. But there is a way to get rid of it. But first, we have to look at the facts. Well, first, coronavirus, or scientifically known as COVID-19, is an inflammatory disease that affects the body's entire immune system. It is a virus and it is very dangerous if not taken care of immediately. The symptoms of these are usually your normal cold symptoms. Fevers, chills, cough, sore throat, itchy, runny nose, headaches. It can be anything. But the only way to be sure that you have it is to go to a doctor. There are some serious signs that you should be aware of if you do feel like you are feeling sick, there's pressure in your chest, you are feeling lightheaded, you're confused. You need to see a doctor immediately because it could mean that you have the virus. But that's not all. We have to focus on the importance of keeping your hands clean, wearing masks, social distancing, because as we can see, there's a lot of not that going on. We see people gathering in large groups. We see people not wearing masks. We've seen people going into stores without masks, and it's very, very, very dangerous not to do so. So first, we need to understand how fast germs can travel. Taking this cornstarch in my hand, I'm going to go through what you would normally do. You touch your face, your clothes, go outside, go to the bathroom, and I'm going to kind of record what happens on a daily basis and how these germs can transfer. Now that little experiment was off of a video that Mark Robert did.
I always thought if we could somehow just see the germs around us, everyone would be a lot more careful and we'd get sick way less. Unfortunately, that's still not possible, so I did the next best thing by running a day-long experiment in this 3rd grade classroom. I found this powder called Glow Germ, and just like real germs, when it's on your hands, you can't see it. But unlike real germs, if you turn a black light on, it becomes visible. But it transfers to things you've touched, so it provides a really good way to visualize exactly how germs spread. So before the kids arrived, as a control, I went around and noted any pre-existing spots in the room that fluoresced under the black light, and then it was go time.
Another YouTuber, who I will put his YouTube in down below. He did this, and it was just showing how important it is to wash our hands thoroughly because germs are everywhere. That was just in the house. Imagine when you're going out and you're visiting friends, you're going to a different state, you know, whatever you're doing, germs are always there, which is why it's important to thoroughly wash your hands, because germs are very hard to get rid of. They will stick to you like glue, and it'll be hard to get rid of them. And so as you saw with my mother, when I shook her hand, yeah, I forgot to record that part of the video. So basically, I shook my mom's hand, and when I shook her hand, all the cornstarch, or half of the cornstarch that I had, transferred onto her hand. So you really didn't miss anything. Mother, when I shook her hand, just about most of the germs, or cornstarch as it were, that was on my hand transferred to hers. So whatever she does in her daily life now, she's going to be touching everything. Germs are going to be transferred, and ultimately, there's going to be germs everywhere. So it's important to make sure that you wash your hands thoroughly. That is one way that we can prevent COVID from overcoming. This is another way to prevent COVID. From this video, I don't know if you guys can see it, but we see that a sneeze goes way faster and longer than we may think it does. Sneezes can go up to 3 to 6 feet. And so if we're not careful and we're not wearing our mask and we sneeze, we could be potentially infecting those who are around us and not even knowing it. So it's important to wear these masks because it reduces the sneeze rate or the cough rate to where it reaches somebody else. These type of masks, which are the simple type that most people wear, can prevent about 3 inches. Cloth can prevent at least, I think I may say, 2 feet. So just be careful. Again, wear your mask because this is very important. If you don't want to get your family or friends sick, please, or anybody else for that matter. And again, if you do plan on going out of this state or the state that you are in, please make sure that you know the guidelines for when you come back to your home state and when you go to that other state. We don't want to make any waves or make any problems, because that just means that the COVID virus will spread, and that will just make more problems for us, essentially. So if you're going out, do your research, because a lot of states that you go to, when you come home, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And if you think you have symptoms of COVID, please stay inside. Don't risk anybody else getting sick or you getting even worse. If you think you have it, please stay inside and reach out to a doctor or specialist so that you can get the help you need. Because right now is not the time to be going out, okay? And be the change you want to see in the world. If you don't want COVID happening, then stay inside, do your best. If you have to go outside, which I'm pretty sure is mandatory for a lot of people, do it, but do it with caution. Be careful. Don't allow anybody else to, guide you off track with how you're making sure that you're staying safe. Thank you, and have a great day.